16-year-old Nene Royal did not return to America's Got Talent simply to repeat the success of her first audition. She came back with a much bigger challenge. This time, the young guitarist from Phuket, Thailand, took on Muse's Hysteria, one of those rock songs that immediately exposes whether a performer can actually control rhythm, timing, vocals, and stage presence. And somehow, Nene made the performance feel less like a teenager trying to survive another round of a talent competition and more like an experienced rock musician walking onto the stage with something to prove. That is exactly why this performance has created so much conversation among AGT viewers. But before we get carried away by the hype, there is something important to understand. Nene's story did not begin with Hysteria. Her AGT journey started with Zombie by the Cranberries. During her original audition, she performed vocals while playing electric guitar, and all 4 judges gave her a yes. The performance immediately established her as one of the season's most recognizable young rock acts. Nene's journey also revealed something that became even more important during the callback. She was not introduced as a polished celebrity. She was introduced as a young musician with a dream. Nene has spoken about starting guitar at a young age and wanting to become a superstar who could tour around the world. Her background in Phuket also includes performing in public and playing with her band, Ozone, giving her experience performing for real audiences long before AGT. So when she returned for Hysteria, the question was no longer simply, can this girl play guitar? The bigger question became, can she prove that the first performance was not a fluke? And that is where the callback became so interesting. Because AGT's new format changed the stakes. Getting 4 yes votes during the auditions was no longer enough to guarantee a place in the live shows. Selected performers had to face another opportunity to prove that they belonged among the limited number of acts moving forward. So Nene had something to lose. She had already impressed the judges once, now she had to do it again. And instead of choosing the safest possible song, she chose Hysteria. That decision alone tells us a lot about how seriously she approached this moment. Because this was not simply another performance, it was a test, and Nene appeared ready to answer it. There is a reason the Nene Royal performance immediately caught the attention of musicians and rock fans. Hysteria is not an obvious choice for a young singer trying to secure a place in a television competition. The song is strongly associated with its driving bass line, aggressive energy, and demanding rhythmic character. Translating that musical identity onto electric guitar while also handling vocals requires serious coordination.
And that is exactly what Nene's version interesting. She did not simply perform a familiar rock song. She adapted it around her own instrument and performance style. Coverage of the performance highlighted the way Nene combined guitar playing and vocals while using an Ibanez guitar and Line 6 amplification equipment during the callback. For viewers who are not musicians, it can be easy to look at a performance like this and think, she is just playing really fast. But speed is only one part of the challenge. The difficult part is keeping everything together. The hands have to remain synchronized. The rhythm has to stay locked. The vocals cannot collapse because the instrumental part becomes demanding. And then there is the most difficult element to measure on paper, showmanship. During the callback, Howie Mandel had encouraged Nene to show more of that side of herself. Nene responded with a stronger stage presence, turning the callback into more than a technical demonstration. That detail matters, because during her first audition, much of the conversation centered on her raw musical ability. The callback gave viewers another question. Could Nene command the room? Could she make people forget that she was only 16? That distinction is important. A technically impressive musician can still struggle to connect with a television audience. AGT is not a conservatory exam. It is entertainment. The audience has to feel something. They have to remember the performer.
They have to want to see what happens next, and Nene's performance appears to have crossed that line. The online reaction has been especially enthusiastic, with fans describing the combination of guitar work, vocals, speed, and stage presence as extraordinary. Those reactions are opinions, not official measurements of musical ability, but they help explain why the performance generated so much discussion online. Some online comments have gone so far as to call Nene an alien, a musical supernova, or something beyond human. Obviously, those are fan reactions, they are not facts, but they reveal something real about the emotional response to the performance. People were surprised, and surprise is one of the most valuable currencies in a show like America's Got Talent. Nene already had the element of surprise during Zombie. With Hysteria, she had to find a way to surprise the audience again. And that may be the most impressive part of the entire story.
To understand why Nene's appearance feels bigger than one viral performance, we have to look at where she came from. Nene Royal is associated with Phuket, Thailand, where she built experience as a performer before stepping onto the America's Got Talent stage. Reports about her background describe years of playing guitar and performing publicly, including appearances at markets in Phuket with her band Ozone. That background is important because it changes the way we look at her stage confidence.
Television audiences sometimes see a young performer and assume that everything happened overnight. But public performance is different from practicing alone in a bedroom. When you play in a market, people are not required to listen. They're walking, they're shopping, they're talking, they're eating. Some people stop, some people continue walking, and the performer has to earn attention. That kind of environment can teach musicians something that technical practice alone cannot. How to hold an audience, how to recover from mistakes, how to communicate without saying anything. And perhaps most importantly, how to keep performing even when the room is not automatically on your side. That makes Nene's AGT journey especially compelling, because the television stage may look like a completely different world from a night market in Phuket. But emotionally, there is a connection. In both places, Nene has to make strangers stop and listen. Her original AGT audition made that connection even clearer. Before she performed Zombie, Nene talked about her dream of becoming a superstar and touring the world. She also appeared with support from her father, who was there during the audition. Then the music started, and the shy teenager suddenly became something else. The judges noticed it immediately. Sofia Vergara described her as spectacular. Howie Mandel called her a rock star. Mel B praised her vocal control.
Presenter TV, Dynamics. Simon Cowell focused on the authenticity and raw quality of the performance. All 4 judges voted yes. That moment effectively opened the international chapter of Nene's career. But it also created a new problem. Once you surprise people once, expectations rise. The audience begins asking, what comes next? That is why Hysteria mattered. Nene was no longer an unknown teenager standing in front of 4 judges. She was now the girl everyone remembered from Zombie. And expectations can be more frightening than rejection. Because when people expect you to be amazing, being merely good can feel like failure. Nene's answer was not to play it safe. She went harder. And that decision became one of the defining elements of her AGT story. There is another reason the Hysteria performance carried so much pressure. Season 21 introduced a major change to the competition structure. Normally, an act receiving enough yes votes during auditions would feel like a major step toward the live shows. But this season, the judges had to make additional decisions because there were more approved acts than available live show places. That led to the introduction of the Judges Callbacks. The live shows have 44 available places. 10 were already occupied by Golden Buzzer acts. That left 34 remaining positions to be filled through the judges' decisions and callback process. Suddenly, 4 yes votes were not the finish line. They were only the beginning. Nene was placed among Howie Mandel's selected callback acts. That group included other performers such as Bird and Byron, Chris Sosa, Danielle Alvarez, Nyamana and Daniele, and Rinya Kondo. And then came the real test. Nene had to perform again. This time, the objective was not simply to earn a yes. The objective was to prove that she deserved one of those limited live show positions. That changes the psychology of the performance. Imagine being 16 years old. You have already traveled across the world. You have already performed in front of the AGT judges. Millions of people have discovered you. Your first audition becomes a viral moment. And then you are told that you have to do it again. There is no guarantee, no automatic ticket, no easy path. Just another stage and another opportunity to prove yourself. That is why Hysteria feels so important. It was not simply another song. It was Nene's answer to the question AGT had placed in front of her. Was the first performance lightning in a bottle? Or was there a deeper level to this young musician? Her second performance strongly suggested the latter, and the result eventually became official. Howie Mandel selected Nene Royal to advance, putting her among the acts moving into the live shows. That is a fact. What is not a fact is whether she will eventually win the entire season. That part remains unknown, and this is where fans sometimes get ahead of the story. Online comments may call her a future winner. Others may already describe her as one of the greatest young guitarists ever seen on AGT.
Those are opinions. The confirmed achievement is simpler. Nene survived the callback. She earned her place. And now the competition gets much harder. One of the most interesting things about Nene Royal is the gap between her age and the confidence she displays while performing. 16 is young, but when Nene starts playing, the performance does not feel intentionally youthful. That contrast is part of her appeal. She does not appear to be trying to imitate a teenage pop star. Her identity is much more rooted in rock. That was already clear during Zombie, when she combined vocals and electric guitar in a performance that earned praise from all 4 judges. Then came Hysteria. Instead of changing direction completely, Nene doubled down on the musical identity that had already connected with audiences. That can be risky. Some performers on talent shows try to show as many different sides of themselves as possible. One week they sing rock, the next week they perform a ballad, then perhaps they switch to pop. The strategy can work, but there is another strategy: build a recognizable identity. Nene appears to be doing the second. She is becoming associated with electric guitar, rock vocals, technical playing, and high energy. That consistency could become an advantage during the live shows, but it also creates a challenge. Because eventually, the audience will want to know whether she can do more than rock. That question is already appearing in fan discussions. Some viewers want her to explore other genres and reveal more of her vocal range. Others want her to stay exactly where she is and continue delivering explosive rock performances. Neither side has the final answer, and that uncertainty is actually good for the story, because now there is something left to discover. The strongest talent show contestants are not always the ones who arrive fully formed. Sometimes the audience becomes invested because they want to watch the transformation. Nene has already shown that she can perform rock. She has already shown that she can play guitar at a high level. She has already demonstrated that she can handle the pressure of AGT. The next question is whether she can turn those abilities into a complete live show package. That means connecting with an even larger audience. It means choosing songs strategically. It means managing nerves. It means creating moments that viewers remember after the performance ends. And it means understanding that the live shows are different from auditions. In an audition, the judges are the gatekeepers. In the live shows, the audience becomes much more important. And that is where Nene's story enters its most interesting chapter. Because she has already won over the judges, now she has to win over the viewers.
Now, let's separate what we know from what people are saying online. Fact number 1. Nene Royal is 16 years old and comes from Phuket, Thailand. Fact number 2. She performed Zombie by the Cranberries during her original America's Got Talent audition. Fact number 3. All 4 judges gave her a yes during that audition. Fact number 4. Season 21 introduced a Judges Callback stage because the number of approved acts exceeded the available live show positions. Fact number 5. Nene was selected as one of Howie Mandel's callback acts. Fact number 6. For her callback, she performed Muse's Hysteria. Fact number 7. Howie Mandel selected Nene to advance to the live shows. Those are the facts. Now let's talk about the rumors and opinions. You may see people online saying Nene is guaranteed to win. There is no official evidence for that. You may see people calling her the best guitarist ever to appear on AGT. That is subjective. You may see comments suggesting that she is already destined to become a global superstar. Again, that is a prediction, not a confirmed outcome. And you may see fans describing her performance as impossible or even unreal. Those are emotional reactions. They tell us how strongly viewers responded, but they should not be confused with measurable facts. There is another important point. Some online discussions question whether certain parts of a performance were played exactly as viewers believe. Unless there is verified evidence, we should not turn those comments into accusations. A responsible entertainment story should distinguish between what happened on screen, what official sources reported, and what fans speculate about online. And in Nene's case, the confirmed story is already impressive without needing exaggeration. A teenager from Phuket reached America's Got Talent. She earned 4 yes votes. She faced a brand new callback system. She returned with a demanding Muse song. She performed guitar and vocals under pressure. And she earned a place in the live shows. That is enough. We do not need to invent a rivalry. We do not need to declare her the winner before the audience gets a chance to vote. And we certainly do not need to turn fan excitement into fake certainty. The real story is more interesting. Nene has earned another stage. Now we get to see what she does with it. Getting into the live shows is a major achievement, but it is not the end. It is the beginning of the most dangerous part of the competition. The live shows are where public voting becomes a central part of the journey, and the pressure changes completely. According to current reporting, the live shows begin on August 18th. That means Nene now has a different problem. She has to become memorable to people who may have never heard of her before. During the auditions, the judges were the main decision makers. During the live shows, the audience has a much bigger voice.
And that makes song selection incredibly important. If Nene chooses another explosive rock performance, she can reinforce the identity that brought her this far. If she chooses something softer, she could reveal another side of her personality. If she chooses a song that focuses heavily on vocals, she could challenge viewers who mainly know her as a guitarist. There is no obvious perfect answer. Every choice carries a risk. But perhaps the biggest opportunity is this. Nene already has a recognizable identity. She does not need to convince viewers that she is a rock performer. They already know. What she needs to prove now is that she can create a complete television performance. That means the opening has to grab attention. The middle has to maintain energy. The ending has to give the audience a reason to remember her. And most importantly, viewers need to feel connected to the person behind the instrument. That could become Nene's biggest challenge, because technical ability can make people say, wow, but emotion can make people vote. That is the difference, and it may determine how far she goes. The good news for Nene is that she already has a story audiences can understand. A young musician from Thailand, a dream of becoming a touring superstar, years of playing guitar, a journey from local performances to an international television stage, 4 yes votes, a second chance through Judges Callbacks, then Hysteria, and now the live shows. That is a naturally compelling narrative. She does not need manufactured drama. She needs to keep building on what is already there. And if she can combine the technical firepower of Hysteria with an even deeper emotional connection, the live shows could reveal a completely different level of Nene Royal. So, what does the Hysteria performance actually mean for Nene Royal? It means something much more important than a viral clip. It proves that her AGT journey survived the biggest test yet. Her first performance created expectations. Her second performance could have destroyed them. Instead, she returned with another demanding rock song and earned the decision she needed. Howie Mandel chose her to move forward. That is official. The live shows are next. And from this point forward, the story belongs not only to the judges, but also to the audience. That is why the title, Nene Royal Crushes Hysteria, works emotionally. Because viewers did not simply watch a young singer perform. They watched a teenager step into a high-pressure situation and answer the challenge with confidence. But there is a bigger story underneath the performance. Nene Royal represents something that talent shows have always been good at discovering. Not just talent, potential. She is 16. Her career is still developing. She is still learning what kind of artist she wants to become. And that makes the next stage unpredictable. Maybe she becomes one of the season's biggest surprises. Maybe she goes deep into the competition. Maybe the audience pushes her all the way toward the finale. Or maybe the competition becomes too difficult. We cannot honestly know yet. And that uncertainty is exactly why the story is worth following. Because one thing is already clear. Nene is no longer simply the shy teenager who walked onto the AGT stage with an electric guitar. She has become one of the season's most talked about young rock performers. Her journey has moved from Phuket to America's Got Talent, from Zombie to Hysteria, from 4 yes votes to a difficult callback, and now from the judge's decision to the live show audience. The next chapter will not be about proving that Nene can play guitar. She has already done that. It will be about proving how far she can take the entire performance. Can she make people sing along? Can she make them emotional? Can she surprise viewers who already think they know what she can do? And most importantly, can she turn technical talent into a moment that people remember long after the music stops? That is the real challenge. So, if you watched Hysteria and thought Nene Royal had just delivered another impressive performance, look again. The bigger story is what came after it.
She survived the callback. She earned her place in the live shows, and now the 16-year-old from Phuket is heading into the part of America's Got Talent where talent alone may not be enough. She will need connection. She will need timing.
She will need the right song, and she will need the audience. For now, one thing is certain. Nene Royal is still in the fight, and after Hysteria, the world is paying attention. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to follow the channel for more America's Got Talent updates, performances, reactions, and behind-the-scenes developments. Because Nene Royal's AGT journey is far from over, and the next performance could be the one that changes everything.